In this video, we will review a tool that was created at the Chester County Intermediate Unit called CCIU Telepractice Special Education Service Delivery Options. This tool outlines the continuum of virtual special education services that are available to CCIU students and families. Various service delivery models are defined with key considerations for each model. It was created in order to help our staff identify which model or combination of models might be the most beneficial for each of their students. Lastly, it may be a helpful resource to share with caregivers when discussing the continuum of service delivery options and why a specific approach may be the most appropriate for their child. You will notice that we have identified 4 options for service delivery: caregiver support, caregiver training, caregiver coaching, and teacher or therapist-led instruction. We provide a definition of each of the service delivery options, information on characteristics of the students and families who might benefit from each of the service delivery options, as well as examples for each. We also broke down the service delivery options by type of service. Caregiver support and caregiver training are considered indirect options, while caregiver coaching and teacher or therapist-led instruction are considered direct service options. Let's take a look at the indirect service options first. Caregiver support involves any communication with the family that can take place by phone, email, or video conferencing technology. This support may be related to IEP goals or current student needs and may include general ideas for activities at home. This may also involve checking in on families who have opted out of service or following up with families between sessions. Caregiver support can happen in conjunction with any of the other service delivery options. Caregiver training takes place via video conferencing and is related to IEP goals and specially designed instruction. This tends to be a more structured and individualized approach than caregiver support. It involves the teacher or therapist essentially telling the caregiver what to do with their child by making recommendations or suggestions. In this approach, the student is not typically present or directly involved in the training session. Again, the caregiver support and caregiver training options are considered indirect service delivery models, as the support is being provided directly to the caregivers without the participation of the student. As special education service providers, we are responsible for providing direct service to our students. At the CCIU, our direct service delivery options include caregiver coaching or teacher or therapist-led instruction. We will discuss caregiver coaching first. Caregiver coaching is a structured and individualized approach that takes place via video conference technology and is directly related to IEP goals or specially designed instruction. When utilizing a caregiver coaching approach, caregivers interact with their child while a teacher or therapist shows them what to do by guiding them and providing feedback. In this option, the caregiver is directly engaging with their child to provide the instruction, modeling, prompting, and feedback. The key difference between caregiver training and caregiver coaching is that in caregiver training, the teacher or therapist is providing recommendations by telling the caregiver what to do, whereas in caregiver coaching, the teacher or therapist is directly guiding the interaction between the caregiver and the child in real time. Last but not least, we will discuss teacher or therapist-led instruction. This also takes place via video conferencing technology, is related to IEP goals and specially designed instruction, and is structured and individualized. During teacher or therapist-led instruction, the virtual instructor is working directly with the student through the screen, with support from the caregiver as needed. The main difference between caregiver coaching and teacher or therapist-led instruction is that in coaching, we are teaching the caregiver how to work on specific skills with their child, whereas in teacher or therapist-led instruction, we are working directly with the child and providing the majority of the instruction, prompting, and feedback ourselves. As mentioned, one of the goals for this tool is to provide special educators with a guide to help determine which approach or combination of approaches might be the most appropriate for each of their students. Let's take a look at the student and family profile section for some key considerations for identifying which of the direct service approaches may be the most appropriate for your student. As noted here, a coaching approach may be necessary as the primary means of direct service for families of students who have behavioral challenges, who are early learners, or who have complex needs. This may also be the best model for students who have trouble directly engaging with the teacher or therapist through the screen. On the other hand, a teacher or therapist led approach may be appropriate for students who are able to directly engage with the instructor through the screen and who can respond to the instruction, prompting, and feedback provided. Keep in mind that a combination of approaches may also be appropriate. Even when a teacher or therapist led approach is an option, it is recommended that a caregiver coaching component also be included, as caregivers are integral parts of the student's IEP team. We talked about the 4 different service delivery options, as well as the student and family profiles for each. The last section includes some examples of each option. Feel free to refer to the tool for examples, but remember that what you are teaching will vary widely based on your individual student's needs. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the CCIU Telepractice Special Education Service Delivery options. We hope this will be a helpful resource for you in determining which methods of service delivery might be the most appropriate for your students. We also hope it can serve as a tool to help guide your conversations with caregivers and IEP team members as you discuss virtual service delivery for your students. For more information on the caregiver coaching approach and aspects of quality teacher or therapist-led virtual instruction, please stay tuned or inquire about our additional trainings.